hate you because they ain't you, okay? And when I say that, what I'm saying is, like, there are people who, as they say, hate from the outside of the club. They are so critical of what's going on inside, but it's not because they're really critical. It's because they wish that they could be in there, and they're mad at you for doing it, so then they're going to hate you for it. For example, if you have the nerve to decide that you're going to go after your dreams and you're going to try something different, and people will tell you, oh, that's not a good idea, you're never going to do that. To me, that's always a red flag. Because if, I always go back to this, but if the guy who, David Blaine, believed that he couldn't be a magician, he wouldn't be David Blaine. People will frame their inner dislike of themselves as concern for you, or their inner dislike of you as concern. But if you are evolving and growing, and you have the nerve to remind people of their deficiencies, you have the nerve to be happy and smiling with all the stuff that's happening. Why are you so happy? Don't you know what's going on? Yeah, but I can still be happy, fool. You know, and people that are couch surfers who are just hating and typing at the speed of light, knowing how the algorithm works, knowing that when you leave a comment, the video is going to pop up on their timeline more, just to have something to be mad at. There are people like that, and that's fine. But you just have to know that that is a possibility, because a lot of people are around people who you think are your friends, but really they don't want you to succeed. Every time you post something positive, they get madder and madder. Every time you do something you don't even know, there are people who are very supportive as well. I'm just saying, recognize who's who. If someone's always shading you and calling you this and saying that and making you the butt of all their jokes, at some point you have to have enough self-respect to say, I won't tolerate this anymore. I don't care how y'all do things. This is not what's going to happen with me. And you have to distance yourself, because you set the standard for how you are going to be treated, period. So if you don't respect yourself enough to establish boundaries and hold people to that, you'll never have that treatment. It's the truth. That doesn't mean that when someone disrespects you that you cause a scene every time. Sometimes maybe you should cause a scene depending on what's going on. But typically I would say not to. I would just say that typically. But you don't have to fly off the handle and become outrageous and get angry, but it's important that you don't ignore red flags of people. It's important that you don't just act like and just assume that everyone has your best interest at heart. It's imperative and important that you pay attention to even the smallest details. Everything speaks. Body language speaks. How people treat you speaks. How people treat others speaks. How people treat the wait staff speaks. How people treat people in poverty speaks. How people treat people with authority and power speaks. Every single thing matters, and every single interaction matters. The smallest facial expressions matter. So you have to be paying attention and aware and categorize people. If you notice that this particular person has haterish tendencies, recognize that that's a hater that you're dealing with, and never forget it. And never expect anything different for them, but mainly and purposefully and truthfully, never forget it. People are always on that forgive and forgive nonsense, and I totally disagree. I don't think that you have to forgive anybody. I definitely don't agree that you should forget what someone's done to you so they can go around and do it again. I think that you should remember and grow so that doesn't happen again. You should remember what that person did and deal with it. Period. Once and for all. The villain in every single show, Joker don't just decide to stop attacking Batman. They might become allies to take out another threat or something, but as soon as that threat is taken out, Joker right back on his tail. Okay? And so it's important to be aware of the haters in your life. Okay? And recognize, especially if you're out here living your life, thriving, minding your business, that doesn't mean people aren't still going to F with you. Just because you're minding your business and you're unbothered doesn't mean that other people, unfortunately, are living that life. In fact, it can make other people more upset with you. You can make more people, other people, not everybody, but it can make other people feel insecure just because you sit up straight and you sit with your back straight. Other people can feel inferior. It's weird, but it's true. Doesn't make any sense, but it's true. There are some weirdos out here. Believe it or not. This ain't Ripley's boo. And some people will treat you a type of way because of how you look. There are weirdos out here. Some people will be mean to you because they're attracted to you. Or some people will be nice to you because they're attracted to you. It's a lot. You know, and I'm not trying to call everybody weirdos because of those things, but people that are mean to you just because you have the nerve to smile, that's a weird thing to me. That's a weirdo behavior, in my opinion. Instead of trying to figure out how they can evolve and be, you know, and become the way that they want to be, they rather hate on somebody else. It's easier, I guess. Don't make any sense to me. And my thing is, like, with everything that's going on in the world, how do you even have time to hate on what someone else is doing? You only got but so many hours in the day, and you're wasting them, concerned about what everybody else got going on, when you could be doing something for yourself. It's a waste of time. That's all I wanted to say. I done made so many videos now. So it's like I made so many that I can't even remember, like, which video this is in the thing. It's like, okay, did I already say this? Like, did I already say that? So now I'm like, okay, is there anything else I need to say? Or like, did I already say that in another video? But all that to say, you know, just have grace with yourself, and also don't delude or cause illusions to yourself. See people for exactly who they are. And that includes yourself. Be honest enough to do a inventory of how you are. Are you emotionally intelligent? Well, the timer went off, so I got this time to go. But yeah, just, you know, do an inventory of yourself. Figure out, are you happy? Period. Are you happy with you? Do you feel all right? Are you crying all the time? Where is this stemming from? And discover who the haters are and treat them accordingly. That doesn't mean to be rude, and doesn't mean to be obvious, and it doesn't mean to let them know that you know and you see them. It just means to see them and address it and do what you need to do to protect yourself. You better check yourself or you wreck yourself.